Okay, let's talk about our favorite horror movies of 2022. And man, last year was such an amazing year for horror.
It's really hard to pick favorites because I could almost pick anything on this list and be pretty happy with it.
Yeah, like I was going through this and I was like, this is way harder than I thought it was going to be. There was so many good movies.
Yeah, I feel like 2023 has a lot to live up to. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming out this year, but man, just for like exciting stuff that actually turned out to be really good stuff or even total surprises like Barbarian. I mean, we just were spoiled this year.
Really were. So we are each going to give our 5 favorite horror movies. Now, this is not the best horror movies. This is just the movies that we enjoyed the most.
From 2022.
Yeah, from 2022, and in no particular order.
Okay.
We love all horror movies, and so let's just talk about some of our favorites. So several of these I know that are on our list. We also did full podcasts for. So if you want to hear us just talk way more about those, then go find our podcast.
Yeah, go listen to the full episode, you jerk.
All right. Well, how about you go first?
My number one favorite overall, and I know you said, oh, they're all the same. No, they're not. Nope is better than anything else I've ever seen in my life. So
wow, you, the person who hates ranking things.
I know, but I can't.
This is the entire reason I said, we don't have to rank it. We could.
I know, and yet it's because you said we don't have to that I'm like, okay, well then I'm going to do it. I just am a contrarian, Jace. Whatever you say, I'm going to do the opposite of.
Oh,
so
that's good to know.
I'm going nope. And I just think that that's going to be my number one overall. I think it's not only one of the best horror movies of the year, but the best movie overall.
All right. High praise.
High praise.
All right. So then I'll say for my favorite, if that's what we're going to be doing, number one overall, I'm going to go Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's an experience. Like I'll never forget the first time I saw it. And it was great. We talked so much about it. So just go listen to the podcast.
Yeah, we have an episode on Nope and Barbarian. So you're good. You can go listen to us talk about how great those movies are. And I will. That was my number 2 was Barbarian.
Okay.
So I'll go with something else. For my next pick, I'll go with Scream, the newest one. That was just such a good...
This is technically Scream 5.
Yes, but it was just called Scream. They're doing that. It was... they made fun of it in the movie. It's the whole requel thing. They just call it like the same name as the original, like Halloween. It was just so good. And I think being the first Scream movie, not from Wes Craven, it had a lot of pressure to be really, really good. And it just felt like naturally like a Scream movie. So that's going to be high up on the list.
The next one for me, I'm going to put them together, X and Pearl.
Thank God. We have to.
What can't you say about these movies? I mean, the fact that they came out in the same year, they are both essentially 5-star movies. And we're getting Maxine next year. Like, we might have
this year.
Oh, yeah, this year. Touche. We might have like the greatest horror trilogy of all time just pop up out of nowhere. Like, yeah, it's amazing.
2022 was crazy like that, man. What a year. That was also next on my list. So I'll go for another pick instead. And I will put The Menu, which we both just watched.
Oh, what a delight.
A real delight. I mean, I didn't think that my top 5 would be like changing at the last second, but wow, was I wrong. That was incredible.
It really is. It reminded me a lot of like Barbarian, where like it just keeps escalating. Like
100%. It totally did. And you just don't know where it's going. And we'll be talking about that in a future episode coming up. So
definitely
we'll be going more in depth on that one. But if you haven't seen it, it's streaming on HBO Max. Get to it. It's awesome.
Is this pick 3?
For you, yeah.
Okay, for me, I am going to go with The Black Phone.
Ooh, good choice.
I mean, it was so good, especially since when we did our episode on it, I had never seen Sinister, so I just double featured that, and it just wonderful.
It really, really was. And I had that on my list too. So we also have an episode about that. So go ahead and listen to it and Sinister, because it really does make for a great double feature as well. So then I will go with Watcher.
I have not seen that one.
You've not seen it. You really need to. I just really love it. It's streaming on Shudder, and it's like Rear Window, but from a female perspective, and the killer is like targeting her. It's like a creepy guy looking in through the window every night, this strange figure that she sees across the way. And there's a serial killer loose in town called the Spider, and he's like killing women and shit. And she thinks it's the killer, but then like everyone thinks she's crazy. It's really, really good, and it's like really intense. It has Micah Monroe from It Follows, the main chick.
Oh, nice.
And she's just so good. Always a delight when I see her in anything, and she's really good in this movie.
That one's on my list. I always get it confused because Netflix also released a series called Watcher, and
it's The Watcher for the Netflix series. But yeah, this is like, I would say I haven't seen that other one, but this is the good Watcher.
All right. Well, for my fourth pick, you told me I have to watch this movie. I did, and I had just the best time ever doing it. DeadStream.
Yep.
Like, that
so
movie
good.
is hilarious and scary.
Really scary. Shockingly scary. And it's like, it's just so innovative for like found footage, which has been done to fucking death. Like, I didn't think there was anything new you could do with it.
And found footage is probably my least favorite style. And so for me to love this movie,
gotta be good.
It was the best.
I really like found footage movies, but I'm weird. I think I would just like to feel nauseous.
DeadStream, I feel like, is like the perfect kind of gateway drug horror movie. So like someone who's never seen a horror movie, but like they could laugh through it.
Yeah, it's way easier to like handle that movie. It's like more Evil Dead 2. Like, it's basically that with a different guy, and it's like found footage at a house. So
yeah,
very similar vibe. I always enjoy a good horror comedy. So then my fifth pick, I will go with, this is one I struggled with because I really wanted to put Bodies, but I don't think I'd necessarily count that as a horror movie.
Do we want to do some honorary mentions
after we do our final picks?
Okay.
But I was just saying that was my, like, I had that at number 5, and I felt like I was kind of cheating because I was like, that doesn't really, I feel like it's more of like it's closer to like a Glass Onion, like murder mystery kind of a thing, you know, a little bit, but like comedy. It's not really scary. I went with Fresh for my number 5.
Another one I haven't seen that I definitely need to, because I've heard nothing but great things.
It's so like weird and amazing and just really shocking, like the changes in tone. Like, it's very much like The Empty Man, where the first 20 minutes are like, could be like a rom-com, and then it changes into a horror movie all of a sudden, and it's like doesn't skip a beat. It's perfect, and it's what actually made me like Sebastian Stan, because I was tired as fuck of him as Bucky in Avengers. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about Bucky. I could care less. And then I saw this and I was like, dude can fucking act. And then I saw him in Pam and Tommy, and he was really good too. So I have hope for him, but only because of this movie.
All right. So this movie probably could be in my top 2 for this year, but I wanted to hold it just to round things out. The Fireplace, aka the Yule log.
Yep. I thought you might. That's a good choice.
That was just one of the best surprise movie watching experiences of my life, because I had no clue that there was a horror movie hidden inside of a Yule log.
You legit put it on as a Yule log, which is amazing. I knew that there was a horror movie in there. I still had a wonderful time and was so shocked by everything that happened. But I will agree with you. A lot of these ones that I put on there, it's because of the first time I watched it. The feeling that I had. was like, oh my God, what the fuck? And that was what a lot of these, if you got me to say what the fuck, or just feel like the new Scream didn't necessarily make me say what the fuck a couple times, but also it just made me so fucking happy. Like, that's why. But
Yeah.
most of them, it's like, they got to really make you feel something.
So, I mean, yeah, let's do some honorary mentions, because a lot of these movies would be like great movies for the year, but it's just been such a packed year that they have to be honorary mentions.
I mean, I would say Smile would be like a really good movie any other year, but compared to all of these, it's like it's an honorary mention, but it's
Yeah.
not like it was, oh my God, it's gonna be in my top 5. Like, it was fun, but it's not
Yeah.
like the best movie ever. But
Yeah.
only because it came out this year.
Yeah. And like another one of those Orphan Kills.
First Kill. So good.
I totally expected that movie to just suck.
And be the exact same thing as the first one.
Yeah, like who is this for? And it's fucking awesome. It's so good.
They knew their audience, man. They knew what they were fucking doing.
And they made it original. They made it interesting. They actually made the first one better.
Yeah, I know. They did the impossible.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I agree. I would also throw in Bones and All in there. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a horror movie, but it was for sure. Like, it had horror movie elements, but I was most surprised by how sweet of a love story it was. It was really emotional and really sweet, really good, and also horrific. It was wonderful.
And then kind of on those lines, Don't Worry, Darling.
Would that be considered a horror movie? I was wondering.
Well, I didn't know it when I watched the movie.
You thought it was a period piece, but like, what is it classified? I would say it's like sci-fi thriller.
When I Google it, it says horror thriller. So, I mean, a lot of these movies,
like bodies,
they're on the line of, are they horror?
There's gore, but it's like, that's not the big deal. Or there's like thrilling elements, but it's like not fully.
And then also just want to shout out, I think this was the horror movie that kicked off the year for me. Thank you for Glorious.
Yep. Glorious. I also was going to mention
the weirdest, hardest movie to describe what the plot is.
J.K. Simmons in a fucking glory hole. That's all you need to know. And that was a real surprise. I also had no idea what the fuck was going to happen going into it, but I was pleasantly surprised by that one for sure. I would also like to say the new Hellraiser, I thought was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was a really good adaptation. Is that right?
I guess it would be like a requel. I mean, basically from the new Scream. You have to watch the new Scream, okay? The new one's coming out. We're going to be talking about it. We need to watch it. We're going to be starting a Scream rewatch soon.
Yeah.
For Jace.
Yeah, this is as good a time as ever. Here on YouTube, in the weeks leading up to Scream 6, we're going to be watching and talking about all of them. And I can't remember anything beyond the first one. So
this is going to be good. Oh, man. Just watching them all back to back is going to be so great again because I'm overdue. I mean, I only watch them like 5 times a year minimum, but I'm overdue.
Wait, you watch the Scream movies 5 times a year, like 1 through 5, or you watch 1 through 5 five times? So 25 times.
5 times a year, yeah, 25 probably. Because, well, it's not like I'm going to throw on Scream 1 and go, I guess I don't need to watch the rest of them. Are you kidding? I started fucking Fellowship of the Ring the other day, and I'm like, well, I'm in for a fucking 6 more movies because I gotta watch all the Hobbits next.
Sorry, guys, can't come out. Started Lord of the Rings.
I mean, it's just the thing. I'm a completist, and once I start on these things, I'm in. And it's like the Pirates movies. I'm in for 5 of those every time too. But you know what? It's okay.
Good stuff.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.